cloud security is like a global common. Global commons like climate, like environment, like the pandemic that we've all gone through, which affect all of us, which have no borders, no boundaries, and they require global solutions and applications. So what I would recommend is that security must be built into the initial design process. We've been saying this, for years, that security by design must be followed, and cloud deployments are more often than not greenfield. So that's an advantage there, that we can create new opportunities to engage in the.
Basically says, how do we simplify the role of the government without compromising in any way the standard they set about their expectations? And there were two principles to that. One is that they say, here is the reliability standard we put in front of you, because we're dealing here not just with security. We're dealing here with security, we're dealing here with robustness against natural causes and technical failures and so on, and whatever and so on. We call it a surety model. How does the government have a high, and the problem is, General Pant is very right to focus on security, but we want to have a more comprehensive level of assurance that pertains to every possible scenario that could finally disrupt that kind of.
So risk awareness is what's going to drive decisions and actions. So, where we are today as a cloud industry, or as industry in general, we're far more aware of the critical role that cloud provides in not only critical infrastructure, but all sides. For me, one of the key points is to remember, if everything is critical, nothing is critical. I think we need to keep in mind it's where there's an impact, disruption, destruction of something that actually impacts society or the well-being or life of citizens or national security.
When we talk of global commons, it's one side of the same coin. The other side says, if it is global commons, then we need to give due regard to global practices, global standards, all of that, on which so much of work has been done. So much work has been done. They may be in fragments, but there is a case to bring them together. We fully understand the sovereign pressures today. Geopolitics govern much of it. And in that, there is a tendency, without being judgmental, for people to look inward and strengthen the defenses.
I kind of think about this from a Microsoft perspective as saying, how can we kind of leverage cloud as a way to enhance security across things like critical infrastructure, right? And I think this is like a big, both security, but also the operational resiliency that we see in sort of these critical industries or critical infrastructure or critical services, depending on designation that we're talking about. And so, for a company like Microsoft, and I think about, energy, right, or water and the security around those, how are kind of those critical entities like leveraging, and I think global commons was the terminology used, right? I think about the inputs to that being things like ISO standards, right? Can we kind of get industries, regardless of where they sit, right? Whether it's financial sector, whether it's energy, sort of like a common security base.
Cloud security is something which is a given. But what I'm going to talk about is security of the cloud itself, security of the cloud as a concept. So when we think about cloud today, what we have in mind is not merely server virtualization. We have hyperscale cloud, which is like a fabric across the world. That is what we look for. That is what we think when we talk about cloud, not merely virtualization, because that has now become ubiquitous. So as they say that because of this fabric, we have something known as ambient intelligence and ubiquitous computing. But my own thesis is that this entire fabric and this entire construct is under threat.
One being the need to remove barriers to real-time information sharing between public and private sectors, and the other being the need to develop centralized incident response and reporting agencies that all parties affected may be able to refer to, either for reporting of incidents or a coordination of efforts in terms of the strategy to respond to those incidents.
The unknown for me is we do not know where the world is going in terms of geopolitics and in terms of the balkanization of the net. As countries, it is largely because of the whole issue of governance. Okay? And the more we fail in governance, more would there be populist governments around the world, and there is always a big risk that the internet will get fractured.